Mulder, look, Colton plays by the book and you don't. They feel your methods, your theories are
spooky.
It's still real to me, damn it!
It's a lot. Ladies for Trump should be like your bio or something.
Yeah.
Ladies for Trump.
I'm gonna
Musk in my panties.
No, my about me is I'm a silly, sassy Republican and I am sick of feminism. I just want to musk into my panties and hate Biden all damn day. My hobbies, definitely not voting and being in the NRA.
Don't you think they would love voting though?
No.
Yeah, she wants to vote for Trump. If she wants to be like Trump 2020, she has to vote.
All right. Definitely voting a straight Republican ticket.
That's too thought out. It's a low IQ slogan.
Definitely being in the NRA.
Yeah, there you go. Simple.
Definitely being in the NRA.
Yeah. Musk in my panties.
Yeah, they're gonna fucking love me.
Don't say that you play roller derby and that's why they're dirty and gross. Say that you do Bikram yoga and that's why they're dirty and gross.
Yeah, or I clean the house in them.
Oh
no, I'm a nun. I'm a school teacher and I teach kids all day.
Whoa, that got weird.
That's what they want to pay for, man.
I think your Republican angle is a little bit, I don't know, less creepy. I like the Republican angle, but I think you should say like they get nasty because you like do morning jogs in your gated community or something like that.
That's a good one.
You know, they also want to make sure that like you look high and tight and that you're maintaining your trophy wife figure.
Yeah.
And they also want it to be gross. So like, how are you working out? You know, you're not lifting weights because that makes you too manly.
I'm doing squats.
Yeah, you got to do a dainty thing.
Also, I brought back the water bottle you hate.
God, you demon. Oh, here we go. 31 seconds. Can you imagine if he comes in right now? If he comes in at 27 seconds and outbids me, this man's mother's a whore.
Yeah, so Noelle's in the middle of a eBay war. Why didn't we start recording after the eBay war or after I made the panty account?
Because, you know, some things are meant for the world and these are.
Yeah.
Like me bidding on a 1992 original Bram Stoker's Dracula poster and you setting up an account to sell used panties pretending to be a Republican housewife.
Yeah, so
0 seconds, we're the winner.
Because you were like, look at what I'm getting. And I was like, I wish I had money because the fucking Republicans cut my unemployment on my birthday. And I applied to like 42 jobs in a row. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Bitch, I don't understand. So did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my God, I just sneezed in my tits.
So, I wonder if you could sell like a sneezed on bra, actually.
I'm not wearing a bra.
That's fair.
So it would just be
I'm wearing a bra because sometimes I have to for CrossFit, but a lot of times if my shirt is fitted enough, I don't wear a bra to work out in. But I really want a burning bras tattoo, but it's economically irresponsible for me to spend money on things right now, other than groceries. And
I understand.
Car insurance.
Trust me. I'm also poor because I am buying things like circle chairs and palm reading diagrams and German posters.
Yeah, the broom shop on your door was cute. The circle chair for your waifu, definitely a steal. And you know what? I'm for it. Sometimes you just got to treat yourself in the apocalypse. Your bills are paid.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah. Hopefully I get a job. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do. You got to have a job.
Yeah, you do have to have a job. It helps. I mean, you don't have to, but it sure does help.
Yeah. Well, I guess my new job is selling underwear.
Good for you. I really like this whole angle you're going with.
Thank you. I think it'll be really good because, like, people just want to fucking hate smell. Dirty Republican
They're
underwear.
probably like, I wonder if it smells different because of all the racism.
Yeah.
So it's I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. Also, I'm pretty sure, or here, I'll do this. Hey, what's up? My name's Noelle, and I'm pretty sure I cracked a rib today while chasing fucking Apollo. He got tangled around Cora, and I was untangling them, and for a brief second, his leash dropped, and he looked at it, and I looked at him, and I said, don't. And that motherfucker ran. He ran like his life depended on it, and I immediately went after him, dragging Cora behind me. We get almost a block down, and he's full cheetah sprinting. Cora is now dead weight. She is just dragging, and she's trying to pull herself out of her leash because she doesn't want to run with me anymore. And I can't pick her up. So I stop to just tie her to the closest fence and keep running after Apollo.
Oh, no.
And
why didn't you just pick her up?
you don't understand. There was no time. I couldn't get him.
You tied her to a tree instead of picking her up.
I couldn't get her and him because I have to get him with body tackles usually. So,
all right. Okay.
So I tied her up and just left her and continued running to him. He weasels his way through a fence. And I just follow, and I hit the side of my rib cage right here so hard. I immediately, it felt cold. You know when it hurts so bad, it's like cold. I was like, bro, I fucking cracked rib.
Oh man!
But I got him. He stopped. He stopped to take a pee, and at this point, I like couldn't even breathe, and I knew I couldn't keep running after him with my self-diagnosed cracked rib.
Yeah.
So I get on all hands and knees in a dress, just like this. I'm on my hands and knees, and I'm like, come here, Pollywog.
He's like, no, I know I'm in trouble.
Come here, Pollywog.
Oh, no, he's coming.
Come here. And he puts his head down and he does his little cute little walk over to me. And then I just wrap my fucking arms around him and squeeze him like a fucking anaconda.
Yeah. He's like the phenomenal forearm, the people's elbow.
I literally fucking stone cold stunnered that bitch.
Apollo.
And so then I got him, and then I had to go back for her, who was sitting on the curb screaming.
Oh,
screaming.
Man. That was like the best introduction you've ever done to the podcast.
Thank you. Well, it's because I'm actually in pain, and if I laugh, it hurts. I really think I did something.
And I'm Chelsea, Republican Musk.
Ugh. Oh, that hurt to do that. God, musking in my underwear, or no, musking in my panties is not what I wanted to hear from you today, but it's what I heard.
Yeah, well,
that's unfortunate.
We get what we deserve.
It's true. You're not wrong. God, that's gonna drive me insane.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I need to be hydrated.
Yeah. Well,
so I can
must
discharge more.
God. End your life right now.
I should just actually leave.
God. You bring your fucking like clean piss cup of wine and then you tell me you need to discharge more, you sick bitch. God damn it.
We needed it for science, and then I put it in this little Tupperware, and then I was worried about it leaking. So I put the saran wrap over it, and saran wrap's fucking hard. I can never make it work.
The only science you're proving right now is that women might have smaller brains. That's what you're fucking doing right now.
But we gotta gargle some motherfucking wine. You want to know why?
Why?
Because there's things in our blood, and there's only one scientifically proven way to test for it.
By scientifically proven, you mean like some crystal energy healer from Reddit?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Not from Reddit.
Oh, God. 4chan?
But from the internet.
Okay, even better. Sure. On some fucking Angel Fire website made in 2005?
Yes.
Good.
Today we are talking about Morgellons disease. Morgellons. I'm in
Morgellons.
It doesn't matter.
Morgellons.
Morgellons.
Why does this sound familiar? Like, is this in pop culture?
Because I yelled Magellan at you earlier.
Yeah.
Who was it's the name of a spacecraft that is named after like a famous explorer.
Okay.
Magellan.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So there's a disease unrelated.
So I came up and there are two different Morgellons or Magellan. Because I was like, I forgot my wine, and you're like, why do you have wine? And I said, for the Morgellons, Noelle, and I think that's probably where the wine.
My very recent memory is like,
ago. Huh? But Morgellons disease, which I had heard about this a while ago, and it's been deep in the recesses of my mind because today I thought we were going to talk about kid vampire hunters.
As did I.
But then I was like, no.
Why would we talk about something that most people probably have a tiny grasp of or could get the concept of?
We're talking about furry blood today.
Beautiful. Furry blood, not to be mistaken with adults who dress as animals.
Right. Both probably terminal.
Yes. Both terminal and socially unacceptable.
Yeah. And doctors do not understand their plight.
Yeah, it's true.
So, doctors with this Morgellons disease, they do not believe patients have it. So we're in another fun, weird fringe science discussion.
When you say fringe science, do you mean not real science?
Well, it's like when people are cutting off their own limbs. You know?
Okay, well, yeah, but that's like a form of mental illness. Is saying you have furry blood a mental illness?
Well.
Okay.
Well.
Uh-huh.
Morgellons disease. I looked it up. It is the hard G. But I did watch a news report from Inside Edition where they called it Morgellons. And I was like, fucking Inside Edition.
Yeah,
you gotta
trust
Google
them.
if it's the hard G or not. Which is funny because we never pronounce anything right on this podcast.
Yeah, so why start now?
Yeah, so
how exhausting.
So it was first discovered by a woman named Mary Litau, who claimed her son talked about having bugs in his lips.
Bugs in his lips.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd be a fun rap song. I got bugs in my lips. Bugs in my lips.
It sounds like an Andy Milonakis opening song.
Yeah.
He's like, I got bees on my head, but don't call me a bee head. I got bugs in my lips, but don't call me bug lips.
Yeah. You probably have it because you're well, I haven't seen any bugs, so you've successfully taped yourself in.
One landed behind you, but I'll just say that came in with you because I have
sealed yourself
the
in
house
to your living apartment condom. So Mary had a Bachelor of Science in Biology and used a toy microscope, her son's toy microscope, to look at the sores on his face and then notice that there were fibers of different colors in his lip sores.
You mean cold sores? You mean mouth herpes? You mean oral herpes?
It's so fucking different you don't even know. So doctors from Johns Hopkins looked at her son and found nothing.
They didn't see any of the sores that she also saw?
Well, they didn't see the fibers apparently. At which point Mary went on a mission to prove that her son has fucking fiber blood. And she formed the Morgellons Research Foundation, MRF, which claims that there are more than 12,000 members with symptoms worldwide. Some even saying, no, it's just 12,000 people in the United States alone. We don't even know how many more people there are.
Okay.
So, Morgellons. Patients believe when they have this disease that fibers are growing out of the skin. And the fibers have been tested before. They are not textile or any other known substance. They do not burn when exposed to heat. So they're not like cotton or fibers.
Fibers, like it looks like cotton.
Yeah, it looks like if you forensically zoom in to like what fabric or like cotton would look like.
Yeah, it would look like fabric under a microscope.
Yeah, it's kind like of strings.
That, like, strings, are they woven or are they loose?
Loose strings. Yeah, so if like you have like a pussy scab or something and then you like touch or like you're sucking on a popsicle or a sucker and you drop it on the ground and then you pick it up and you're like, ugh. It's like that, but
that's
in your
what
blood.
It looks like. Oh, good.
You can pull it up and type in Morgellons disease and you'll see kind of what the fibers look like. And there's also an Amazon Prime documentary that I am going to be referencing. It's called Skin Deep, The Battle Over Morgellons. And it starts out by saying that it's absolutely, see the fibers? It just looks like small hairs. Like in your
It just
skin.
looks like ingrown hairs. Like under
kind
a
of,
microscope.
but then you get all different colors.
Oh, and
like
then a
there's
dog
red.
with ticks.
Yeah,
Good.
Don't look at that. But it has like red and blue, clear ones, white ones.
Okay.
So it's not in any medical book, but there is an agreed upon characterization from the people in this community. And they say it feels like bugs are crawling all over your body. You have lesions and eventually strange fibers start to grow out of your skin. So we're talking about it today because there's a lot of different explanations. Anything from obviously mental issues, which is what most agree on upon, to it being actual bugs, to it being like microscopic worms, from aliens to chemtrails.
Oh, the whole gamut. Honestly, I bet it's like some sort of bacteria because people are gross.
Yeah, but if it was a bacteria, then we would be able to kind of classify it as
I don't know,
an
man.
actual bacteria in a lab setting.
Oh, wow. Look at this very real picture. And by real, I mean the most photoshopped thing. It just looks like... How can I describe this?
It looks like individual fibers on the skin.
It kind of looks just like when you pluck an ingrown hair and it looks all wiggly and weird.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of semi under the skin, semi out. It kind of just looks like that. And then the sores look like herpes or like
meth sores. They look like meth sores.
Yeah, they do look like, open wound meth sores.
Yeah, because it's not just like on the lips. It goes fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like legs, arms, face,
it kind of also
mouth.
looks like ringworm a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely looks... The sores themselves aren't anything special. Like, think of like somebody with acne who picks it too much.
Me.
Or like meth people when they get the scratching. So just think of Noelle.
Yeah.
Disgusting,
Yeah.
pockmarked Noelle.
Yeah,
Covered
me.
in open wounds.
Me.
And people believe that if it is anything, it's probably more closely associated with Lyme disease, which is also kind of on the fringes of medical science.
How? I thought Lyme disease was like from ticks.
Yeah, but it's like fibromyalgia and like things like that. Like even fibromyalgia or like chronic fatigue, doctors aren't really on board for. They're more like quote unquote like psychosomatic. Where doctors are like, yeah, we'll treat you for anxiety. But there's nothing else.
Well, I was going to say that's what they're treating it for. They when you read about Morgellons disease, just as a quick overview, it's like it's controversial. People get lesions. They believe that their skin is infected by bugs or other objects like string. Uncommon. There's no bacteria. Symptoms are rashes, a sense of a need to itch or crawling under the skin. And the cure is treatments for anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're labeling it as like a mental illness, like a form of anxiety or a form of OCD.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go into that a little further because there are doctors who are kind of trying to treat it, but in like a subversive way. So, but doctors are in a hard place because they have no objective proof of the disease existing. So they don't actually, so the medical community does not actually distinguish between Morgellons disease and then delusions of parasitosis, which is DOP. And that DOP is classified as an unusual psychotic illness characterized by a false but unshakable belief that one's skin is infested with parasites.
Yeah, like low key, I would kind of say that because even this like medical journal is saying like when they've done tests of the skin around the sores, it's composed of collagen and keratin, which are the normal things you would find in regular human cells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so far the most effective treatment for Morgellons disease is antipsychotics, according to the medical community.
Yeah.
People who have it absolutely disagree, and they actually, in 2007, participated in a letter writing campaign, and they asked the CDC to legitimately do an investigation. So the CDC did, and they said that they found literally nothing but delusional infestation.
Yeah.
Now, the thing here is normally when you do a test of, say, something like COVID, where the CDC starts testing it, you're testing thousands of people and you are continuously logging data and it's spread out over years. The thing with this specific Morgellons study is that they'd had a pretty significantly large group who was willing to do it because pretty much everybody who wrote in was like, yes, fuck yes, please. And they had at least 173 locally available who are willing to come and do it. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, the CDC only took 12 people. And when they actually did the testing for it, they didn't look at the skin. And so it was a very incomplete type of test. It was basically just like recording symptoms. Mm-hmm. And they did no samples. And the only thing they legitimately tested for was psychosis. So it was kind of like a Band-Aid campaign. So there's not much we can put into that because you and I could conduct a similar test. We could get 12 people, ask them if they're tired all the time, and then diagnose them with delusional infestation. There's no weight to what the CDC did.
9.5 times out of 10, we just go grab 10 people off the street and are like, are you tired all the time? Everyone's going to be like, yes, thank you for asking.
And then we could be like, yeah, congratulations. The government's poisoned you with 5G.
No.
I'm not on the 5G train, but we could convince people very easily.
I don't understand the 5G train. What is the 5G train? My phone goes faster?
Yeah.
I can watch a YouTube video without
No, it's the
lag
waves,
time?
man. It's the fucking waves.
What waves?
The waves from the reptilians are solidly turning your brain into an actual asshole. We should do a 5G episode.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready either. It doesn't interest me as much. I'm like, faster internet? Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I can like sit in the back seat and watch a Netflix series on my phone with absolutely no buffer times.
Yeah.
Sounds fucking great.
You wouldn't even have to worry about any lag on your eBay bid or...
Thank
You've
God.
been great.
Thank
Yeah, you
God.
have so many posters.
Give me 5G. When I see 4G pop up on that bitch when I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, I'm like, bro, fuck you.
I'm fucking offended.
Yeah. Give me the 5G, you dumb bitch.
It's just, you know what? This... If I think about it too hard, I just might cry, Noelle.
I know.
So there are a couple of people in this documentary who share their experiences, and one of them that they particularly highlight is a woman named Cindy Casey Holman. And she's notable because she is an RN, and she had been an RN in the ICU for decades. A super well-educated woman, and when her symptoms first began in the mid-90s, she didn't specifically know what it was. And this is where it got dark, because I was like, oh my God, do I have Morgellons?
Oh, great. Here we go.
You're going to fucking think you have it too.
I don't think I will.
You'll think, so you start out by thinking you have like a low-grade flu or fever, no energy. Her feet would sometimes swell. She would get headaches, anxiety, and then would kind of start to feel lesions on her skin.
I think that's just being a fucking human.
Well, you fucking wait. She described the feeling of pop rocks under her skin. Now, I think that sounds kind of cool, because that's one of my favorite candies.
I do enjoy a good pop rock.
Yeah, but she was well connected in the medical community because she worked in a hospital.
Yeah, and so was Nurse Jackie, and then she overdosed.
Yeah, no. But she had professional affiliations where she could go and see different dermatologists, and they all knew her, but they were like, these wounds all look self-inflicted. And she's like, but they're not. They're just literally popping up, and they look like picked scabs. Like,
yeah.
And so she hadn't heard about Morgellons at this point, but she noted that at one of her dermatologist appointments, he had like a really close scope and was like looking into all the lesions on her face. And then he like kind of made the offhanded comment of like, oh, do you wash your face with a washcloth? And she said no. And she didn't specifically think about it until somebody told her to watch the news, and they were doing a newscast about Morgellons disease. And she was like, hold the fucking phone. Is that why he was asking me if I washed my face with a washcloth? Because he saw fibers in my blood. So that started her down that road. And there was another guy who was a lawyer, and he kind of described the same thing. Suddenly got fucking tired. Like, both of these people couldn't, like, they would go to work and come home and sleep until work the next day. Like, just like chronic fatigue all of a sudden. And like onset of Alzheimer's, like couldn't remember shit. Like, they would go into work and just be like, where the fuck am I? Like, very peculiar symptoms that all of the people who had Morgellons have described.
Okay.
And I keep saying Morgellons because I'm like merging Morgellons with fucking Magellan.
It's okay. I know what you mean, and everyone else has to get on board.
Yeah, deal with it.
Morgellons. So
there's a guy named Harry Quinshone who has the coolest fucking job in the world. He's a medical historian who specializes in contested illnesses.
Ooh.
How cool would that be?
Contested exclusively.
Like, I have ghosts in my throat, and he's like, let's research it, and he gets paid to do it.
Find out. Oh, what a dream job.
I was actually surprised to find out, as you were, that fibromyalgia and Lyme disease are contested illnesses. Like,
I thought Lyme disease came from ticks.
It's a contested illness.
What's contested about that? That a tick gets you, and some ticks are icky, and they give you icky, and you have icky, and that's Lyme disease.
If you go and you say you have Lyme disease, like, a doctor's probably just going to be like, okay, here's some antidepressants.
Well, they already do. And I don't
And
have Lyme disease.
There was that Netflix. Did you ever watch that Netflix show that was like ill or sick, and it showed people who had different illnesses, but there was literally like the doctors literally had no idea what it was. And one girl was like, "Oh, I'm super allergic to mold," so she and her boyfriend lived in the middle of the desert.
Mold?
Yeah,
We all should be pretty allergic to mold.
but
It's not
hers was
good.
like, "You and I can like tolerate
the black
fungi
mold
sperm
that
in-
lives
yeah,
in
can,
here.
like." But we're exposed to like mold every day. It's like literally everywhere. And it's like in the air that it's like after it rains, it's probably like more moldy. And we can tolerate that. But she could tolerate not even a spore. So she lived in the desert where like more mold doesn't grow. And then there was like another woman who was like, "Oh yeah, I'm chemically sensitive." And so she lived in like a literal empty apartment. And she couldn't wear any clothes that had like dyes in it because everything in our world is a chemical. So she couldn't wear she would wear like fine hand woven linen, and then that was it. And it was so weird. So it was like all of those are like contested illnesses where people's lives are legitimately torn apart.
Well, I wouldn't say that that's not real. There's people who have diseases where their bones break like glass, or they're
Yeah.
allergic to the sun to the point where like they'll literally burn like a fucking vampire.
But the medical community is on their side with that. They're like, yeah, you have X disease, but these are the diseases where people are like, They're like, are you sure you're not just depressed?
Are they?
I don't know. And that's why I think that this documentary specifically went with like affluent people who had no problems until they feel like they came down with Morgellons.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady's like, I don't have a history of this in my family. And the other guy's like, I was a fucking like DA when this happened. And all of a sudden I have this stuff and people are telling me it's XYZ, but I don't have the other symptoms for XYZ.
Yeah.
I just have fuzz blood.
Yep, that dang old fuzz blood.
Fuzz blood. And it's interesting because this isn't particularly new. There was a letter that this guy brings up by someone named Sir Thomas Browne, and it was first published in 1690, so it came around earlier. But
1690 earlier, yeah, you don't say.
From the early 1600s. But he says that hair. So this is what Sir Thomas Browne wrote in a letter. Hairs which have most amused me have not been in the face or head, but on the back, and not in men but children, as I long ago observed in endemial distemper. I should have read this before, so I'm not.
No,
sounding out all these words.
I like sounding it out.
Distemper of little children in Languedoc called the Morgellons, wherein they critically break out with harsh hairs on their backs, which takes off the unquiet symptoms of the disease and delivers them from coughs and convulsions. So
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that sometimes I don't believe what 1600s doctors have to say. I wouldn't call that a
you're gonna
reputable
look at me.
source.
You're gonna look me in the eyes, and you're not gonna trust
Yeah.
leech doctoring.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, well, it's people like you are the reason we don't have cocaine in our Coke anymore.
And it's unfortunate. I agree. Trust me. They used to dip tampons in like fucking morphine. Let's bring it back.
Oh man, could you
Let's
imagine how
bring
awesome that would
it
be?
back. Some things are correct. Like
neither of us use tampons, but
no,
I would use tampons.
I would
if they were
use it for the
tipped in
love of the
morphine.
game at that point. Look at you, cursed me. They came back.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I put it
The
out
damn
in the universe.
bugs.
I need to stop spreading negativity.
Yeah, stop it. But I don't know. Like some 1600s doctor telling me that children have weird hairs on their back. Like I'm like, okay. And then what did he say? That they're fucking werewolves, you know? Like I'm
Maybe.
not.
But I think the thing that's like super shitty is how dismissive doctors are to this. And I think literally every person on the planet has gone into the doctor and they've been super dismissive about anything. I mean, my knee was broken for 2 months before I finally like demanded a doctor do a MRI. They're like, oh yeah, your knee's broken. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's because all doctors, no offense, are sociopaths.
Yeah, they're
when you're like in the job for so long, you become like desensitized. And unfortunately, that tends to be the type of doctors we all see where you talk about like, you know, you're like, my wrist hurts. And they're like, oh, ice it and take some ibuprofen. You owe me $900. And then all of a sudden you like can't write and you go back into the emergency room. And they're like, oh, your wrist has been broken.
Yeah.
And it fucking fused wrong. And you're like, hello?
I think my most egregious thing, I already told everybody the
Yeah, the fucking pap smear from
the
hell.
pap smear run. But the more egregious one, even more egregious
Worse than that?
I feel, was right after my mom died. I was having severe panic attacks. And like, I've had panic attacks before.
Yeah.
But like, as shitty as they are, you can usually calm yourself down. But I was having like 5-day panic attacks. It felt like I was just idling at 160. So I go into the doctor and I'm like, I need what is it?
Anti-anxiety
Xanax?
medication? Yeah.
Is that like the super quick good shit? I was like, I need some Xanax, man. And he's like, why? And I'm like, my mother died and I'm stressed the fuck out. And so, and this was around the pap smear time because this happened right after my mom died. But I was like, give me drugs. And he said, he was like, oh, this is something you should talk to your gynecologist about. I was like, what? Hysteria? Motherfucker. Anyway,
oh my God.
Off. So we're off topic.
It's because you go to like some fucking doctor who thinks that like pregnancy is a button you press.
Yeah.
Like your doctors are they're almost written in SNL sketches.
Dude, my doctor was Sir Thomas Brown. He checked my back for fuzz blood.
That's at least a better doctor visit than what you've had. You know what? You're talking about having to sell panties online. You could have sued those motherfuckers, that gynecologist office who told you had crabs or what the fuck ever when you didn't. You could be sitting on a throne of wads of hundreds.
Throne of malpractice.
Yeah, the throne of malpractice is huge. It's like, Westeros.
Yeah. Oh my God. I could have taken down Cersei motherfucking Lannister.
Yeah.
With my crotch.
You could have been Cersei Lannister.
But you know what? Joke's on Cersei because now I'm going to be selling my panties to Jaime Lannister and I'll destroy her from the inside out.
Oh, how the crotch has come around.
Oh, how the crotch has tabled. Turned.
The turn crotch has tabled.
So it's shitty because like people will come in and they're like, there's legitimately something wrong with me. And the doctors will say, oh, you're just picking your acne too much or you rub your eyes too much. And
I mean, I do, but like,
yeah, you just rubbed your eyes.
Read yourself.
And in this documentary, there is one dermatologist who like openly talked about Morgellons, but he was like, I straight up pretend to treat patients. So people will call him. He'll have like a Morgellons appointment. And so most of the time what they get
he keeps like little fibers in his back pocket and he's like, whoop, would you look what I got? Oh.
But he says that there's drugs like Pymazide, which is a medication that treats DOP, that
the need to pick your face off.
Yeah. So what he does is like when people come in, like one lady was like, I have sores everywhere. She had like literally a binder of proof that she had compiled, which is also what's sad because like these people feel so like unheard.
Yeah, she's picking her own scabs off and laminating them in a scrapbook with washi tape.
Yeah, and he would be like, well, some of these look like you just scratched really hard. She's like, no, I'm too vain to scratch my face to the point where it bleeds. So he goes through the motions and treats them for Morgellons disease, but really it's just he's treating the DOP disease, but he
puts a bow on it.
Yeah, and honestly that was pretty good, but some of the people are like, no, I've already done literally like 6 years of this treatment. And they're like, I don't have anxiety, I don't have depression, like I literally don't have anything wrong with me other than these sores popping up all over my fucking body.
They need cortisone and
an oatmeal bath.
And a nice chamomile and oatmeal bath and maybe a Xanax bar.
Yeah. So
guess you won't be picking their fucking face anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
Them.
And a lot of doctors also complain that they felt kind of like handicapped by the medical community because they're like, well, we'll have people come in and we try to prescribe them things for Morgellons, but it's like medicine for like other stuff. So someone comes in and they have like they have picked at their face, so I want to prescribe them Accutane, but I'm not allowed to prescribe Accutane for a disease that somebody thinks they have. So like we're also kind of handicapped here. Like they're like, what do we do? Someone comes in, and so but I did look it up online, and we're about to do this. It's how to test to see if you have Morgellons, and people can do this along at home.
Okay.
It's called the wine test. And what you do...
You can only be 21 and older to try it. Sorry, under 21-year-olds, have fun picking the bugs out of your skin.
Yeah. Yep. So Me and Noelle have to swish red wine
For 5 fucking minutes.
5 minutes, and our teeth are going to be so stained.
That's what Morgellons is.
And then we
your
have to
teeth rotting out.
And then we have to spit it back into a cup. So you need to get 2 cups.
Oh my god. Okay.
That we can take
Oh
this
my god.
moonshine that
Great.
I smuggled
Yeah.
over here.
Okay. See
Are
you
we pausing?
See you in 5 minutes. But it'll seem like a second to you. That's the most disgusting shit I've ever done.
So at first, like, I was like, this is so good. And I was trying not to swirl it. But mine got so bubbly because I was like hard gargling, you know?
I had to
swishing.
stop hard gargling because it started to taste like warm bread in my mouth. And I could feel it hurting my teeth.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I have cavities.
Yeah, like my teeth feel like I just put sugar in my mouth and went and brushed them.
Yeah,
I brushed my teeth with sugar.
But do you have fibers in there? I feel like I have like,
What the fuck do you mean fibers? Like hair?
I don't know. Like, obviously, you're going to see stuff in it because we just gargled for 5 minutes and we're going to have like natural residue off our teeth and things.
I don't see like little furs.
No, it just
What
looks
is
like
it supposed to look like? Morgellons wine test? Ugh, God.
You have stuff in yours too, right? Just from like, it's like general gargling. Like, it's not going to be clean wine anymore.
Yeah, like
I don't see any
Morgellons
hair.
wine test. Let's see what. Okay, these are not great pictures. Brush your teeth first. Well,
Whoops.
oopsies.
Fucked up. I didn't read that far.
Oopsie daisies.
I don't see fiber in mine.
I don't see fiber in mine. Okay, here we go. The red wine test is fast becoming a popular Morgellons fiber detection test. Brush teeth first, then use a 5-minute rinse, which we fucking did. You motherfucker. It's supposed to be of 1/3 hydrogen peroxide and 2/3 Merlot red wine.
Well, that's not what it said.
Spit into a cup and observe for fibers. Those who prefer not to use alcohol, organic purple grape juice works just as well. And still, again, 2/3 juice, 1/3 peroxide. And this is what dried dental sample after wine test. Like, it looks like curdled.
It looks like someone coughed out cancer.
Nasty, yeah.
You know, like in Constantine, when the devil reaches into like his chest and pulls out cancer. We definitely don't have that.
No, I just have like bubbles and foam and like overall spit.
Yeah, mine's just like, the spit that coagulated from. Oh, what a waste of
perfectly good wine.
It was like a spoon. It started out as like a small mouthful, and then eventually, like, I could not contain it in my cheeks anymore.
I definitely did a Jesus and turned a tiny drop of wine into a giant cup of wine and spit. Yeah. So,
well, I'm kind of sad. I was hoping we would have this debilitating disease.
I have enough diseases. I don't need to add another one.
Okay. Well, also, I didn't want to say this before the wine test.
What?
But science does say that this will literally always happen because it's called astringency. When you like gargle wine, it like pulls shit out of your mouth, but it like that stuff will coagulate on itself. So it'll look like
this is what happens when you have perfectly brushed teeth. And by perfectly brush, I mean all I did was brush my teeth and drink coffee today. So what else would be in there?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So anyway, if you try this at home and you see things there, it's astringency. Or is it? Is that what the scientists want you to know?
Maybe.
To feel?
Probably.
So there is a website called morgellonsexposed.com.
Oh, sounds legit.
Let me tell you, bitch.
Sounds legit.
You go to this, and in all motherfucking caps, it says, chemtrails and Morgellons, it's worse than you thought.
I would expect nothing less. Does it float by in like lime green text?
It's like white. It's like blue text on a white background.
Oh, of fucking course.
And
sometimes.
It's my new favorite website.
Morgellonsexposed.com.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And it says that production of this work is encouraged for nonprofit educational purposes only. So I am going to be quoting from...
This is it?
No.
Oh, this is more official? This is on a WordPress site. That's why it looks better.
Let me put...
Morgellonsexposed.com. That's what I'm going to.
Are you spelling it with 2 L's?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Did they take it down? Did they get a new
click on chemtrails. It's worse than you thought. Go back to Morgellons.
This one?
Yeah.
Chemtrails and Morgellons.
Click on chemtrails.
Oh, it's worse than you thought. Okay. Got it.
Scroll down. Look at how good that looks.
Oh. So you can see up here, this is a free WordPress site. I bet I can inspect it and honestly fuck with it. Oh,
Probably.
look who does not have a coded secure website.
Noelle, no.
Look at this. Look where I am. Oh, I'm in your header. I could fuck with this right now.
Oh my God. Put a link to Freaky Geek podcast.
Oh my God. Could you imagine?
So this website.
Hold on. Edit as HTML. Look at, I'm in their website right now. So anyway, sometimes having the power of God is interesting.
So they do claim that Morgellons has a lot of other symptoms that we talked about, like brain fog, fatigue, and memory issues. A lot of running noses, ear ringing, the eye floaties, aching joints. And they say it does get worse with age.
Again, this is just being a human who is
just aging.
Aging with a tiny, slight bit of dehydration.
Yeah. When I was like reading this, I'm like, runny nose, check. Ear ringing,
Check.
Eye floaties, like the floaters in your eyes,
Check.
Aching joints,
Check.
So I was like, oh man,
But guess who was also getting older and constantly dehydrated on some level? Me, bitch.
yeah, and probably just gargling wine for 5 minutes. Doesn't
Yeah, and
help
feeling my
either of us.
teeth rot out of my
Our
head.
teeth are super stained.
My teeth feel awful.
Yeah. But the website says, and I quote, "My conclusion was that the entire upper troposphere contains what can only be described
Upper
as...
troposphere?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Perfect.
science.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember that in my fucking geology class.
It contains what can only be described as synthetic clouds that have been introduced by aircraft. Motherfucking chemtrails, bitch.
So the fibers in your skin that make you think you have bugs inside of you are caused by artificial clouds?
Yes, because they go on to say
Uh-huh.
that...
What did they say? What could they possibly have to say?
The morphing of this substance into clouds of a fibrous nature and other bizarre cloud formations not found in any early textbooks are messing with our atmosphere to the point that there is now a sheen around the sun. And if you notice, when the sky is particularly blue and gorgeous, that's when the planes come out and do more chemtrails. And what they're doing is they are spraying fibers to make these nanotech polymer clouds.
Do you think it hurts to be this fucking stupid? Do you think it's painful?
I think it's painful to be this fucking woke.
I think it's painful.
How can you be this woke?
I think it must actually physically hurt. I think that's why they think they have Morgellons, because their body is in physical human
you don't-
pain
Noelle.
from believing that
How-
the troposphere.
No, it's how can you be this woke but be this fucking tired all the time?
I know, honestly.
That's what they're going through. So, this person's done science,
Clearly.
literal science. They
Yeah.
say that this stuff has reduced our sunlight compared to 2 years ago, and they recorded it by setting a light meter then, and now comparing their measurements to
Wow.
now, it has decreased in light at about half.
Wow.
So whatever they're using to measure, it's been halved.
Good for, it's like they're so close to understanding climate change.
Yeah.
And realizing that
Maybe this is what caused climate change.
man-made things and pollution are causing the earth to change and have drastic effects. But rather than follow the path of science, they're just like, I'm going to see where you went that way. I'm going to go
This
the
is
complete
science. They
opposite.
measured life by half or light. That's not science. They measured voltage by constantly wetting their fingers and squeezing a voltage probe. That's fucking science.
I just imagine this person slightly electrocuting themselves every morning until they start thinking these thoughts.
How? How is this
chemtrails.
No, fuck you. This is also science. I collected water, and with an old microscope in early April, they looked at 30 drops under a microscope, and they saw what appeared to be Morgellons.
It's like the rain evaporates from the ground going into the sky and falls from the sky back to the
No.
ground
This person's
in a
doing science.
cycle.
They concluded with their scientific
We've also
method.
found human ashes and acid in the fucking rain because of pollution.
They don't want us to question that either. It starts from motherfucking
We're really concerned about the fabric in the clouds, apparently, but like there's genuinely
not, you son of a bitch, it's not just
chemicals.
fucking fabric. It's nanotech polymer clouds.
We're so concerned
in the
about
troposphere.
We're so concerned about nanotech polymer clouds in the troposphere, which is made up. When we're actually like, hey, in some cities that do not regulate their pollution control, they have actual acid rain that hits the ground and can harm human life. But like, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the troposphere and the alien clouds.
You want to know why we're not focusing on it?
Why?
Because these nanoparticles are making us fucking tired.
I mean, yeah,
So
it's true. I am
person-
exhausted.
And you know what? This person concludes through their science that these fibers are synthetic model organisms. So what does it all mean, Noel?
Is it alien? They're saying it's an alien?
It's synthetic organisms.
It's
we don't
a
know if
fake
it's
alien.
aliens yet. So what this does to us, and I need you to stick with me because we're about to go into real hard science.
I thought hard science was the teeth rotting out with the wine, but here we
we're
go.
about to do more fucking science. We live. It's hard for me to say.
A hologram?
In an energized electrical bath, and airplanes are using chemtrails
What?
to drop a human-esque miracle grow into the air
Why don't we? What?
to fuck us all up because
The Miracle Girl?
human-esque miracle grow. It's miracle grow for humans.
I'm 5'4". Speak for yourself.
No. Okay. But we're in an electrical bath, and we're being seasoned. We're being fertilized. I cleaned my glasses for dramatic effect.
Okay.
We're being fertilized
For what?
by this miracle grow, and that is why our immune system. I don't know what it's for yet, but for study to make it. Well, actually, I do know what it's for.
Okay.
But what they want is for our immune systems to not fight the disease because it's synthetic, and it's undeniable. Noelle, it's unfucking deniable that all life forms are under a deliberate chemical and biological nano attack that's coming from the sky.
It's almost like 3 separate schizophrenics all came together and mad-libbed what you just said.
Yeah, but you want to know why they're doing this?
Why?
Do you want to know? I thought I had a burp. I don't. So, because the government could start shooting people in broad daylight and people would just go about their business without intervention or condemnation.
Arguably, half of the population is doing that currently, right now, in some parts of the country. And then the other half of the country is like, hey, I just saw that. I'm going to riot. So, I mean, maybe they're onto something.
Yeah, now...
They lost me at electrical bath because what? But where does that weave into this story?
Well, you clearly don't have a science degree like these people do. I don't either.
Okay.
But it's because it's
Is
like
the
same
science
thing.
degree like a test you take on that dude's WordPress that I
Yeah.
can hack into
But
right
it's
now?
also the Alex Jones thing of like putting fluoride in the water. They're wanting to make us complacent. Like we'll go to work and we'll work for the fucking capitalist regime and we're going to be tired and then we're going to
But I
home.
don't like it.
Yeah, but you're fucking doing it. And
Yeah,
then you
because
come
you
home.
see that circle chair? It ain't going to pay for itself.
Your waifu, those waifu pillows aren't going to buy themselves.
No. Her titties are out. You know how expensive that was? It was $50.
Yeah, that's too expensive.
Not for me, because I'm a capitalist pig.
You have a fucking job. But also, another theory is that they are small technological devices from aliens.
The fibers?
Yeah. Well, they're small technological devices, yes. And that these nanobots are either the aliens themselves or alien technology. And what
Nanobots is just the Dollar Tree version of Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to decide which part of this theory is like the store brand Dollar Tree kind. I like the aliens being, I think that the chemtrails is my favorite part of it. But
I think chemtrails are fun because it's so obviously not real.
how fucking dare you? You can't say that to me.
It's just condensation from a fucking
No,
aircraft.
chemtrails are from the HARP organization so they can control our weather and cause earthquakes, Noel.
I don't think that's anything. This is what I'm talking about, disinformation sandwiches. Because yes, I do believe that HARP is testing things that can control and alternate weather. Do I think it has anything to do with the little like pesticide jet going over some rural area in Ohio? Absolutely not. But that's why they're doing it. They're making a sandwich of fact and fiction so that
you need to wake the fuck up.
You need to wake up. You have so much fluoride blocking your third eye right now.
I do have to. I can only afford tap water. Thank you.
So it's showing.
You drink that fucking fizzled bullshit in front of my fucking face when I smuggled my prison juice over to you. How dare you?
You literally made hooch.
I know.
If we put this back together with like a grape, it would just be hooch.
Yeah.
A little dash of yeast.
Dude, that's what we need to drink to fight COVID because now that's how we
What,
fight
my
it.
spit wine?
Yeah, your swine. So these alien nanobots are either, like I said, aliens themselves or alien technology. But the thought here is that it only takes one tiny little fiber to get into the human completely, and then it will
like a
spread.
splinter.
Yeah, it'll spread until the fibers are so intertwined with you that you're basically being manhandled by this alien.
You're a giant
parasite.
quilt.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a coat and they're wearing you. And that it makes us easier to control. So that's why you get the symptoms of being tired or having bad memory issues. I think mine's from my TBI or depression.
Or being hit in the head.
Yeah, that's a TBI, traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But I want to blame it on aliens because I don't want to be responsible for my actions.
It is so much easier to say that it's aliens rather than the fact that like I accidentally skipped my antidepressant again. Oops, sorry, delusions. It's me.
That's why you're giving me so much goddamn lip today. You don't have your antidepressants making you tired and complacent.
It's true. I feel more awake than ever. It's also why I haven't been sleeping.
From bibliotecaleades.net.
Biblioteca. No.
My Spanish, my Español is muy bueno. I've been watching a lot of 90 Day Fiancé and I'm getting way good at Spanish.
Believable.
So one Dr. Peter Lynch of the University of California did say, quote, when fiberglass curtains first came out, many people with skin conditions were diagnosed with delusions of parasitosis, that's DOP. But then studies eventually showed that these patients had tiny fiberglass particles in their skin. So although anecdotal evidence doesn't carry much weight, there are a lot of anecdotes about alien abductions, but that doesn't mean they're true. And as for the pictures, you can see there's photos of the Loch Ness Monster on the internet too. So this guy's kind of basically like, there could be weight to it as it was when like fiberglass came out and everyone was itchy, but at the same time, like there's so much anecdotal evidence that also fuck him. The Loch Ness Monster is true. We should do a Loch Ness Monster episode.
Loch Ness Monster, sure.
And also alien abductions are true. So I don't really know if I believe this dude.
Okay. This is the most reasonable man and you're like, fuck him.
But it does make sense. Like, yeah, there's like a lot of different things that we didn't specifically understand. Like if AIDS came out before we understood the T virus or whatever, like we wouldn't understand AIDS either.
There's still things we don't understand. And it just means we haven't uncovered the science yet for some of it.
Yeah.
Others are just a man in a gorilla costume being captured in the woods with a fucking throwaway camera, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just clearly not real. And sometimes you're like, maybe we should investigate this.
Yeah, but like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and alien abductions are all 100% real. What's not real is Antarctica. All right, so the next theory. I'm trying to go more scientific for you because you're fucking horrible.
I can tell. It's so scientific.
The Morgellons Research Foundation says that 44 people with Morgellons that they tested positive for Borrelia burgdorferi, but that's the bacteria that's believed to cause Lyme disease. So they do believe that it's probably like
they got
a
bit
Venn
by
diagram.
A tick. Okay.
Where some people are just going to get vastly different symptoms, and because neither one of the diseases are totally understood.
In the middle of the Venn diagram is a tick.
Yes, or furry blood. I don't know.
Okay.
But
or a tick.
The National Pediculosis Association in Boston, Massachusetts, originally created to increase awareness about head lice and protect children from pesticides, has also done research on it. And they did take skin samples from people who claimed to have like bugs in their skin, and they were originally diagnosed by their doctors as delusional, but these research found a microscopic bug in 18 of the 20 patients called a collembolan, which is like something with head lice. So there could be some weight to it. I mean, it's always more fun to be like, yeah, it's chemtrails or aliens, but it could be like a psychotic delusion.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, we just don't know. And these people, unfortunately, are losing family members and personal connections. Like one lady is like, my kids won't even talk to me anymore.
Yeah,
like,
because you
live
just
alone.
keep saying that you got bugs in your skin. And it's not, you know.
Yeah, but even
It's
when they
tough.
do psychosis treatments, they still have the Morgellons symptoms.
Well, sure, because that's only dulling down the little synopsis in your brain that's telling you to pick your way to China.
Yeah.
So-
So, I mean, that's the end. What do you think?
I'm indifferent towards it.
I think it's chemtrails.
I bet you do. I have a feeling that this is just some form of compulsion that makes people pick at their skin. I've taken too much Adderall before. I've dug into my face like I was fucking Shia LaBeouf in holes. Yeah. Okay? It happens.
Yeah.
So, you know?
I mean, I've gotten so much of this maskne from just wearing a fucking face mask.
Oh, you mean on
everywhere.
the chin? I have a
I'm
cyst
dying.
on my fucking chin that is just, it won't quit.
Yeah, it's like, what do you do?
Cry.
Yeah.
That's it. Keep wearing the mask
Gargle
because
wine about it? Like, I don't even
make
know.
my teeth fall out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just going to keep wearing the mask because at this point, what's happening underneath it is not great. So even
Yeah,
if they
now
come
I-
out with the vaccine, I'm just going to stick
Now I
with it.
have to wear the mask.
Yeah,
because
now I
I've
have to.
created an issue of
Yeah.
just being a disgusting. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, look at this. This is so big. Like I could take a scalpel and cut it out.
Yeah. Just get a hot needle and stab the fuck
It's
out of it.
under. It's so cystic. That's why it kind of blends in.
Yeah.
But
But you
it's-
feel it. It's painful.
It's a fucking
Yeah.
rock.
yeah.
So, you know what? Blame it on the fiber worms from space.
Yeah. No, it's fiber nanotech.
Fiber nanotech in the troposphere. Okay. So anyway, that's how I feel about it. What do you think? You think it's chemtrails? You think it's
gotta be
aliens?
chemtrails.
Okay.
I don't think it's aliens.
Okay.
That's stupid.
Why don't doctors want to take it seriously and treat it? What's the harm?
Because they just want to slap it with like a psychosis thing. But it's like that other doctor, like, I mean, but there is, like, you looked it up, like,
Yeah.
there's clearly fibers that are on these people's skin, and they feel like that needs to be treated. The whatever you think the fibers are doesn't.
Well, it's
matter.
also tough because the way that their information and data and examples are collected are the same way that you would do like a slideshow on your live journal.
Yeah.
It's like very not good.
Yeah. Well, it's like a super grassroots effort of like people who don't, you know. who
Anyone
aren't
can do
believed.
grassroots, but that to me looks crackhead
I'm going to
roots.
reach out and see if they'll let me be their graphic designer.
You
pro bono.
should ask him if you can get a hold of that WordPress before I go in there and start
I
writing
know.
penis all over it. You should infiltrate this group just like you did the people who want to cut their arms off.
Oh my God, I should. That'd be so fucking cool. I can kind of relate with them in a sense because like,
Do you also have delusions?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
like with, but like OCD, like if I go in and I tell a doctor if I snap twice with this hand and I have to snap twice with this other hand because it needs to end in an ascension. And so a doctor's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You
I
and
say-
your ascension shit. I tried to explain it to Trevor and I was like, I can't make sense.
You know
He's
what
like,
I
I don't
mean? But it's
understand.
like-
I'm like, neither do I.
But it's like if I and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I go, "I have OCD." They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is like one of your compulsions." I don't see why. Like, it's. I just don't see why. Like, if somebody goes in and I have like fuzz blood, a doctor can't be like, "Cool, let's treat it." Do you want to try Accutane? Like, why can't? I think that's what's stupid. Like, dude, at some point, like. Yeah, keep them on the psychosis medicine if that's part of it. If you think it's a psychosis, treat them for that. But throw other shit at it too. Like you never know what's going to fucking work.
Yeah, I guess I'm with you on that. I don't understand why they can't give them an antipsychotic that'll prevent them from picking their face apart like it's a fucking scratch and sniff, and also giving them like a chamomile lotion.
Yeah, like
You know?
make them feel better on the inside and out. Maybe they just need a nice hug.
One guy that would take a lighter and he would just kind of like quickly like go across, not like enough to burn, like, you know, when you put your hand through like fire really quick, and he's like, I can hear him sizzling. And he would just
see, you
people
know
can't
what?
see what's going on.
You know what that is?
Well, he didn't have
That
any eyebrows.
is a delusion.
No, it's fucking fire
No,
treatment.
that's a delusion.
It's fire treatment.
That is, it's mental illness, isn't it? Yes, that
well,
is.
he's dead now.
Well,
so just,
yeah, probably
I
from
don't know
fucking
that.
lighting his face on fire. Okay, hey, if you think there are fibers in your skin caused by chemtrails or aliens, seek psychiatric help and don't pick your face. Hail Satan.
Hail gargling wine.
I'm not hailing that. That shit can fuck off.